Gotta get that out.
Noise.
Every time. I fucking burp so much on this. We're really off to a great fucking start.
Favorite pooping scene in a movie. Let's go. Actually, that's easy.
Oh, that's easy.
If we don't have the same answer,
hold on.
we're no longer friends anymore.
Hold on.
I swear to God. No, wait, hold on. Let me hold on. No. Hold on. You're gonna say your answer.
I was just gonna say on the hold on. I was just gonna say on the count of three. The title of the movie.
At the same time.
On the count of three, the title of the movie. Now is it 1, 2, 3, go?
Wait, do we go? As I was about to ask.
1, 2, 3. Okay. Title of movie.
Okay, let's do that.
All right, ready?
You count it. Yeah.
All right. 1, 2, 3. Dumb and Dumber.
Dumb and Dumber. Oh shit! Right? I don't think there is another answer, right?
I mean, I'm sure there is. I mean,
actually, you know what? There is. There's. I don't know if this is second place, but there is a good pooping scene in Bridesmaids. But Dumb and Dumber. Is
in the street.
Shit. Yeah.
That's a good one.
Which I don't think she even wanted to do that though.
Even Maya Rudolph, and what's her name? Melissa McCarthy shitting in the sink. Yeah, that is funny.
That is good.
Or Hall Pass. Hall Pass has got to go.
Oh, Hall Pass is a great one.
When she and it just looks like a Jackson Pollock painting behind her. That's a good one. And then Jason Sudeikis, like, because then it goes, the camera's like just having, you just see him kind of come on screen. He's just like,
oh, it's so good. Did you
that was actually fucking hysterical.
I would raise you Hall Pass for. Did you ever see Bad Grandpa? Is it Bad Grandpa with Johnny Knoxville?
Yeah,
and some fat kid. Where they're at the diner or whatever, and then like they're blowing raspberries, and then he just gets up and he's just like, "All right, grandson, we gotta go." That one killed me.
That one is good.
That one killed me.
That one is good. but it's Harry, right? That's Jeff Daniels' character. Is Harry shitting, and then the toilet doesn't work. That whole scene is just. I think that's like the quintessential shit scene in a movie that is just hysterical.
A lot of like the people surrounding Jeff Daniels were really worried when he was signing on to do that movie, because Jim Carrey, I don't know in what order his like 90s movies came out, because obviously he had a shit ton. You know, he had Ace Ventura, he had Liar Liar, The Mask, Dumb and Dumber, obviously. So I don't know where that one fell into that realm, but obviously Jim Carrey was already pretty well established as like this amazing comedian. And there was a story saying, you know, a bunch of people were telling Jeff, like, man, don't do this movie. You're not gonna, like, no one's gonna care about you or your character in this, because Jim Carrey's just gonna dominate. He's just too good. And Jeff Daniels, you know, reportedly said, he's like, I'm fine. He's like, I got this toilet scene. I got, you know, the outside the winter scene. He's like, I got these lines. He's like, I got these parts. He's like, I'll be fine. And he's like, you know, and he's like, I want to, and plus too, like, for the longest time, I didn't know like Jeff Daniels was this really credible, serious actor, because honestly, the only thing I really knew him from was Dumb and Dumber. And I was like, I didn't really know him. And then it wasn't until like adult years later that I was like, oh, he's got a full body of work that's very serious. And I was like, this guy was in Dumb and he's the shitter, like he's the shitting guy. It's insane.
Yeah, and he was great in Dumb and Dumber.
Oh yeah,
like he was. I feel like because he really didn't do much after that comedy wise either.
Not really. It's such a shame that like Dumb and Dumber 2 sucked so bad.
Yeah, I didn't watch it.
Yeah,
I heard so many, because like here's my thing is like I feel like if there's a movie that is so epic, I don't care how much time has passed or whatever, just don't make the second one. Just don't do it.
Yeah.
Like the one that I think was the one for me that really set it off was Boondock Saints. That movie was so fucking great, and the second one just doesn't hold up at all, and they shouldn't have even done it.
True. There's a lot of examples of that. I mean, hell, are you excited or nervous about Indiana Jones 5?
I'm nervous because like it's just the time passing.
Did you hear that there's gonna be an Ace Ventura 3? Really? That's your response? I'm excited.
Yeah,
I'm happy.
because the same thing. Like I feel like it's gonna end up being. I'll make the comment now,
Fine.
and
It's solidified
if
forever.
BoobTube Heroes is still running, I want it to be where we call back to this moment. But
I'll
my thing
timestamp it right
is,
now. Hold on, hold on.
fucking,
Beep boop boop
fucking.
boop boop boop. Hold. Let me do my notes. Boop boop. Ba-dup, ba-doop. Okay, go.
I think it's gonna be. I think Jim Carrey will end up either overacting it, or the script is gonna be just so chaotic and loose, and it's not gonna be nearly as good as the first movie. I love the second movie,
Wait.
but
Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. First or second? Which one's better?
we're gonna do this right now.
Hmm. I mean, eventually we're gonna actually talk about Sonic, but
yeah. Well, yeah. We'll. Oh God, you're gonna put me on the
answer
spot
the
right now. And ask
question.
me the first or
I'm
second
gonna put you on the
movie.
spot. It shouldn't
Gotta
take
think
this
about
long.
it.
Come on. No, it
I
shouldn't
would
take this long.
say that I think the
There's
first
one
movie is
right
better.
answer. Do you want to go
The
1,
first
2,
movie.
3?
No, the first movie.
Oh, okay, do you want to try again?
No, I'm good.
Please?
Oh, you like the
You're
second movie
wrong.
better.
I love the
You like
second one. Honestly, as a kid, I didn't even know that the second one was the second one. I just thought that was Ace Ventura. I didn't know that the first movie, swear to God, I didn't know that the first movie existed probably up until like late teens. And I was like, the fuck is this shit? And then I watched it, I was like, it's not bad, but the second one is so much better.
The second one
Is.
is okay. Here's what I'll say about.
Come on, Guano.
Here's why I say the first one.
Okay.
The second one is definitely reaches a broader and younger audience. It's funnier, but like if there's like a kid that's maybe like 9 or 10 and they watch it, like you don't feel like it's still funny to them. It felt more family friendly to me. Outside of
He
maybe the
crawls out
rhino,
of a rhino's
outside
ass.
the rhino, I was just gonna say outside of that part, but even then, that's kind of still just kind of funny. Like the first movie is very adult themed.
Well, yeah, because I mean, hell,
They're talking
they
about a train.
kind of show bulge, yeah.
I mean, Finkel is Einhorn. I mean, but then like there's so much with that movie that's more like I don't know, like even like the stuff between him and Courtney Cox, like the sexual tension there was so much
Yeah.
more like real and serious and adult themed than in the second movie when he's just like trying to bang the Aborigine and it's just like
I mean, he literally gets a
those are
blowjob
nice.
in like the first 5 minutes of Ace Ventura 1. You know,
Yeah.
that opening scene is definitely one of his best opening scenes ever. Where he's just kicking the fuck out of the package. It's just
like
ching.
or like when he's in the shower and he's plunging his face out. But it's so like such a dark scene. Oh
Yeah.
God.
Oh,
And then
man.
like I mean, come on, that's where people started talking out of their ass. Everyone talked
That's
out of
true.
their ass after that movie. So like I guess for me it's like I love the second one. I mean, the scene of him doing Chitty Chitty Bang Bang is still fucking hysterical. Or just Slinky. But like it's
Oh,
funny.
the Slinky is amazing. Or, just,
or like when he gets when the arrows hit him in the legs, he's just like,
yeah.
Like
I'm not gonna lie. Whenever I give like my girls baths and stuff, like you know when you got like the because they're they got pretty long hair. I always do like the horns, and I'm like white devil. I mean they don't know, but it's funny to me.
But like that's my thing though. Is like that movie to me was more, I guess, family friendly. Whereas I feel like now it's like now that I'm older, like I feel like the first one is still much more relatable to me.
I'm excited though for the third one, but since I asked you for the rankings, and we can cut this out if you're going to be a bitch about it again if I put you on the spot.
Well, hold on.
Hold on. I apologize for taking over your hosting duties, but if you had to give me your top 5 Jim Carrey movies, and you can include Sonic if you want, because that is our movie tonight that we're going to talk about. You can, but top 5 Jim Carrey movies. Okay, so we already know number 1 for both of us is Dumb and Dumber.
Well, hold on. Why the fuck are we not talking about Sonic first and then going to that? You see, this is why I'm the host, because I usually try and do this shit in sequential order, where you're kind of timming out on me here right now, where you're jumping all over the goddamn place.
I was Tim and out, I'd pass out by now.
Bye.
Just
all right. Quick cut because I have no problem if that's what we want to go into. Do we want to go into Sonic first, or do we want to go keep on Jim Carrey?
Actually,
we can ride the Jim Carrey boat now that I'm thinking about it, to your point, because then the Jim Carrey will lead into Sonic.
I don't care. You did make a good point. You've got the better understanding of flow.
So but now that I'm thinking about it, I probably shouldn't have cut it. I should have let you just keep rolling because it was smooth. Let me act like as if, because I know you're going to have to do a cut here. Let me act as if you would just ask me the question about my top 5 Jim Carrey movies.
Yeah.
All right.
It's fine. You never really give any pizzazz, so it's like this shouldn't be difficult for you. This is all going to be seamless.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
All right. So I think what we can do then, if we're going to talk about the top 5, what the fuck, Jake? What the fuck are you laughing about?
Because I know that we literally spent 20 minutes working on our list real fast, and I get to see the acting of Paul. I get to see like, shit. That's a good question.
By the way, I love how you
did the beginning off the top of my head.
I like how you did the turd cutter one, where I was just like, blah blah blah, blah. Like just like all the cuts of me going into it. It's just so fucking great. Like I love when there's cuts of that where it's like me getting frustrated or me trying to like act, are just great bloopers.
They are. I don't even know why you were cursing out Timmy, because at one point in one of those bleeps, you're just like, "Fuck you, Timmy." And I was like, Timmy didn't even write this ad. I don't even remember what Timmy was doing.
Because he kept cutting me off.
Oh, that's true.
I would start doing it and be like, all right, Paul. I'm like, God damn it, Tim. Every fucking time I start talking.
Oh, man, I love it. I love it all.
All right. I'm going to try this again, where I got to go off the top of the Chrome Dome here.
Sure thing.
All right, top 5 Jim Carrey. God damn it. What the fuck?
It's funny. Because you're stop doing that. Stop trying to overact. Stop here.
Why can't you just let it be and just let
what? It's fine.
Yeah. Can you hold your shit together? Well, God damn it. Because that was going to be good.
Did I just revert to Timmy?
You Timmy'd out on me there for a second.
I'm sorry. I'll be professional.
Ready? All right, here we go. I just want to see if I just went and did the little. If you would start laughing. I feel like you're getting close.
I'm just gonna suck this bottle down.
All right. Go. All right. Top 5 Jim Carrey movies. It's kind of tough because there's a lot of.
Okay, I'm just gonna leave the room.
Why is it so hard?
Why did you keep doing that? Just say it.
Because I'm trying to help you out here. I'm trying to give you what you need to keep this fucking podcast on the rails. And every time I open my mouth and go, "Oh, I'm gonna get ready to do this," you start fucking laughing.
Cause you keep taking it to like a De Niro level. You're like, all right,
yeah,
worry, I got you, Jake.
You know why? Jake? Because
top 5.
Because I'm a goddamn professional, Jake. This is what we do.
I swear to God. I need you to bring it. I got this.
Are you ready? All right.
Don't ever talk down to me like that again. I got it. I'm gonna pretend like I'm thinking.
All right. I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna go, and then yeah, and I'm gonna act like this is like we never talked about this. Ready?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Top 5 Jim Carrey movies.
It's a tough question.
It's tough because there's a lot of them. I mean, not really a lot ever since, like, I would say probably 2000. But there was a run there for at least a good 7 years where he was just pumping out good movie after good movie after good movie.
Oh, yeah.
And all in their own different way, right? So I think then, if we're going to do this, then we could probably just do it where we've already decided, we've already both said that Dumb and Dumber is like our top one, right? So
absolutely, yeah.
I think at the end of this, after we get all the way up to number 1, we could talk more about Dumb and Dumber. I know we already kind of did, but maybe what we could do then is I'll start with the ones that are on my bubble, like because they didn't make the top 5, but I still think they're worth mentioning because they're still they're still great movies. Like nothing
Sure.
against them. It's just they're so, like I said, there's like a set of like 10 which were good, but I'm gonna take it
Oh
down to
yeah.
five. Um, the two on my bubble are Ace Ventura 2, which I know you are going to have a problem with because that was your favorite Ace Ventura movie.
I'll hold
But
my comments.
but Ace Ventura 2 and then Liar Liar is right outside. I got Liar Liar as number 6. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's a good movie. I
Okay.
like it. Nothing against
Mm-hmm.
Liar Liar. I
No,
mean,
fine. Whatever.
I
You
mean,
do you. You're
it's
your own person, Paul. It's your world. We're living in, apparently. Like, okay. No,
I
I'm
mean, it's
excited. I'm actually more intrigued now to know your list because ours aren't gonna be anywhere the same.
and then I guess the only other ones that I would say that are going to be I'm putting in my bubble that are worth mentioning is uh, I've got Cable Guy on there that didn't make it in my top five.
Really?
Yeah, well, yeah,
But
I'm
that's
sorry.
in the realm? Really?
It's
You're
in the
like the
bubble.
only person. Nah,
I
you're
mean,
like
I have no problem with
that
it.
was like his freebie. That was like the one where he's
Yeah,
like, okay,
well,
nah.
yeah, I'm just saying I don't think it was terrible though. It's not in my top five. It's a
Can I
bubble
tell
one.
you one of mine in my bubble that now I'm worried that you're gonna have in your top five, and you might get
Yeah,
pissy. So at least we have both. The
sure.
Mask. The Mask did not make my top
Oh.
five.
Wow. How?
Okay, this is gonna be
Hmm.
fun. I like this. I'm
Okay.
intrigued. This is great. I love this. Let's do this.
Another one that's on and is not in my top five that's on the bubble is Batman Forever when he plays the Riddler. I loved him as the Riddler. I thought it was great. He was great as the Riddler. It's just for me, he's not in my top five because it's not a Jim Carrey movie. He was part of an ensemble, so I don't
That's fair.
have
That's fair enough.
Batman Forever in there. And then the only one that was like after like 2000 that I thought was good was Bruce Almighty, and it's not a great movie. Don't get me wrong. I haven't well,
Okay, yeah, no, we have plenty
but
to talk about. I'm
Bruce is
excited that
Bruce
it'll be
Almighty's
3 in
good,
the
but it's
morning and we
not.
talk about Sonic.
Yeah, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Fuck it.
Okay, because I'll
But
give you one more
so
bubble.
yeah,
I'll
give
give
me
you
your
my number
bubbles.
6. So I already gave you the Mask. The Mask would probably maybe be like 7. Number 6. This one
Fuck
was tough,
off.
and now I
Fuck
feel
off.
like if I'm gonna guess, it's probably 3, 4, or 5 for you, which is Me, Myself, and Irene.
You're a fucking dick.
Which I know, um, it's good. It was tough. I am sorry.
No, don't apologize.
I didn't do all
No.
like his super comedic shit. I have one in there. You can maybe say 2, but there's one that's definitely like it's dramedy, I guess. But
Yeah,
okay,
see,
you want to go
for
first? You want
me,
to hit this first?
yeah, because I'm already
Hit your...
pissed off about the mask not being in your bubble. That's the one that I think
It was tough.
hit me like right in my core. But that's fine. For me, my number five is the Truman Show.
Oh shit, we have the same number 5.
See,
That was my
and
dramedy. It's so
now
good.
it's probably the one movie that Jim Carrey did that was like it was funny. It had funny parts in it, but it was a
Mm-hmm.
great fucking story. The whole
Oh yeah.
concept around it was fantastic. And then like because there's times where like I mean I feel like there's people that after that movie came out and maybe even before but like especially after where you kind of thought like am I in my own movie, right? Like I think people
Oh
have
yeah.
that thought about themselves like am I in my own movie, is it all about me? And for him it was in this. And then to go from having this whole world that's built around you and then the ending, which I don't think we're doing any spoiler alert issues here because that movie is like 25 years old.
1998.
So I mean there you go. But like it the fact that he then leaves at the end, Ed Harris playing God, if you will, was
Yeah,
fucking
like the
great.
director. Oh yeah.
And then like just like there's the if in case I don't see you, good morning, good evening, and good night. Like it was so
Yeah.
awesome of a movie. It hits it's got the emotional aspect to it. I think it's probably one of the movies that like it was so different than anything else that he did at that time, but it just was so good. That's why I have it as my five.
He was he was so his character he's so funny. He's also very sympathetic. Like, you feel bad for this guy so much. And then you also root for him so much. His arc leading up to him leaving is amazing, especially when you get into the nitty-gritty details about how, you know, he didn't want to leave because they're on an island, correct? You know, and he's terrified of the water because I believe it was dealing with the death of his dad. Just the concept of that movie, it's never been done. We both like that one. Do you want to just go to the fourth?
Sure, and it's going to go off the rails here because my fourth is Me, Myself, and Irene. That is my number 4, and I think it's just because, you know, at this point, if I think about it chronologically, it's probably one of the last films that he did. It's almost like there's the Dumb and Dumber Ace Ventura era with the mask, and you know, there was all of those movies. This one came out so much later when people were kind of like, is Jim Carrey done? Is he, you know, is he done with that? Like, this was like a call back to what he was doing that still was great. And I loved of him playing the nice guy, and then he has this whole alter ego character, and the alter ego is just a complete fucking asshole. He played that so well, and just like, he's just so cold and like callous, but at the same time, it kind of ends up being like, where even then, even though he's a dick in it, you still kind of feel for that part of it because it's still him, and like, it's all this suppressed emotions and dealing with just like anger management that I just think the movie is fucking hysterical.
Yeah.
And like the scene when they're driving and she looks over and then you see like the cock get hard and she's all excited and then she looks up and he's just like looking at her like, hey, what's up? Or like when he goes to pee and it just shoots sideways.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
There's so many, or like even just like
his mental breakdown in the beginning of that movie was epic. Because that movie came out quite a bit ago, and I was fairly young, and I just remember like I didn't like I wasn't watching that with my family when they were, and I just happened to catch it on, you know, on the TV, and it's the part where he's just sucking the woman's breast as she's like trying to breastfeed or something like towards the end, and he just and I was like, I turned around, I was like, what the fuck, you know? I'm sure as a kid I was even like, what the hell did I just stumble on?
Well, and I think that one's got a lot of great physical comedy, like when she punches him and then he falls down the hill, or just like the scene of, I guess if you want to talk about a great shit scene of him, because the dog keeps shitting on his lawn, so that the one day he goes out, gets the paper and just drops trow and just shits. He's just like,
oh man,
like that. And then the other reason that I love that movie is, for anyone that knows, I don't know if we've talked about this in the podcast, both of us are huge Foo Fighters fans, and Breakout was the theme song for it, so like that kind of ties back to me. So like that whole thing, and then like him adopting his wife leaves him for the black midget, and then he adopts the 3 kids.
Dude, those kids are hilarious.
Well, it's
when they show what was it, a duck or a goose in the end up the guy's ass, and they're talking about it mathematically.
There's no way you can get a chicken head up in that guy's ass.
Yeah.
Or when he shoots the cow and it keeps coming back to life. I mean, there's just so many great like physical scenes in that like, and then like it's Jim Carrey, like when he starts having the mental breakdown and you see the way his face moves because he is the rubber man, right? Like he can just make his face do things. And then I believe what's his name? Is it Anthony Adams? Is that his name?
Maybe I could check it.
The guy who's in Blackish.
Oh, I think so.
I want to say it's,
look that up.
Is it Anthony Adams? Anthony Anderson. Sorry, Anthony Anderson.
Yeah, correct.
He's in it, and I mean he's young in that movie. But like I don't know. And then like I just think like there was so many great physical moments in that I thought were great, and then just Jim Carrey being Jim Carrey. I thought that, so that's why I've got that one as my number 4.
Here's the thing, because we're gonna fight on my next choice.
I just lost my earbud.
It's all right. It's all right. You don't want to hear this anyways. So before I get to my number 4, I just want to say that Me, Myself, and Irene was very hard to not keep in the top 5. And I know this was my fucking question. I had to go with Truman Show. It was, it was much more sentimental. And Breakout, I know we'll never do a Foo Fighters top five or anything on
No,
this
maybe we will.
pod.
Why not?
It might. It's. I don't know if it's top
It's
five.
worth
It's
it.
definitely so close. Breakout is so amazing. The end of that song is just fucking phenomenal. But okay,
Your
number
number
four for
four
me.
is
You want to take a guess?
Liar Liar.
Boom. No. Bruce
Damn.
Almighty. I had to go with Bruce
Really?
Almighty. So you were talking about, how, and it was true. A lot of people were saying that around the Me, Myself, and Irene, that was like towards the end of like Jim Carrey's like, great part of his career. It's like his golden age or something. But I disagree. I feel like he came back strong with Bruce Almighty. And again, it goes back to that whole like someone had to have pitched that where it's just like, all right, what if God gave someone his powers or her powers, whatever you believe in, in this case it's Morgan Freeman. And then like, but what if it's Jim Carrey? Like, and someone's just like, sold, that's the movie, boom, go. His I'm not gonna say it's his funniest or anything like that, or his most sentimental. I just love the high ass concept of it, of just him being able to do whatever he wants, and him and Morgan Freeman. It had so many good scenes that I don't think it's underrated. I don't think it's an underrated movie. But I mean, hell, we had Steve Carell before he was like really like, oh, Steve Carell.
That scene with
And,
Steve Carell is fucking
it's
awesome.
It's honestly, and it's great. And I think maybe subconsciously, I think it's top five because every time I do the pod with you, I just get reminded of the fucking news scene, or just every time we need an intro from you, you're just like, cut that.
Oh,
but
pee. Like, Steve Carell in that is just he's funny in it. The movie's funny, and it's a good.
Yeah.
Again, it's one that actually had a little bit more of a storyline to it that made sense and was good. Morgan Freeman, how can you go wrong?
Yeah. And like one of my favorite jokes in a Jim Carrey movie, and it's not even like his greatest, but for whatever reason I really cling to it, is when Jennifer Aniston's character, and I forget her name in the movie, he's eating breakfast or something. She comes downstairs to the kitchen, and she's like, "Are my boobs bigger?" He's just like, "What?" And she's like, "My boobs, they're huge. Look at these," And I'm just like, "Yeah."
And he's just like, bigger? Like
yeah.
like what guy wouldn't do that? Like that. Yeah, that's what's great about that is like what he does with his powers.
Yeah.
And like like the whole scene where he pulls the moon and he goes like this and goes and the clothes come off and then he looks at her and he just goes Arr! Like that's fucking it's funny.
Oh man, beautiful. Like it's just it's good. It's very family oriented. But you go number 3.
So for me, number 3 is The Mask. And for me, it's, and maybe this might have something to do with the fact that we do have an age gap and the fact that I am, 4+ years your senior here.
That's not a big gap.
No, but as far as Jim Carrey goes, we're talking the difference between 1995 and 2000. So you can easily say, like, when you were in the year 2000, when like you're talking about like Me, Myself, and Irene, Bruce Almighty, that age you were there is the age I was when The Mask came out. So for me, The Mask was like, I mean, when did the Mask came out in?
That was early. When you you look that up, did you fuck with there was a cartoon, there was a Mask cartoon. Oh, yeah. Did you ever watch it?
I did.
It was actually not that bad.
It was really just an exaggerated version of like like when they would be like smoking, like they did that so much in that movie.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, for me it's like that movie came out in 1994. So for me I was 9 years old. Like I'm right in like
where that movie was 5. So
so like for me that movie is funny to me as a 9-year-old, but then at the same time, like when I get older, it's still funny to me because then you realize all the adult themed parts of it that I didn't catch. Like for me, it was just this animated guy that was doing all these funny things, like with the little air horn that he does. It's like, or just like That's a total to fools. Like, there's so many like fun, very Jim Carrey like things that he does because he's such a caricature himself that he got to have this character where he puts on this mask and he didn't have to do anything different. The character is very
True.
different from Stanley Ipkiss to the mask, but for Jim Carrey, the mask is actually who he's more like, not Stanley Ipkiss. And then Cameron Diaz is in it, and she is fine. You know what I mean? And like the dog
The
being
dog is the best part. The dog
the
getting the
dog
mask on is the best
peeing on the
part.
guy is great. Just and then like they call me Cuban Pete. Is it Cuban Pete? I think it is. I'm the king of the rumble beat. Like that whole scene is just hysterical to me. And then yeah, like I watch it now and it's just like you see other parts of that movie that were also funny when he was Stanley Ipkiss. And then like the scene when he also now has all this bravado about him and he goes
Yeah.
back into the bank where he was employed and he just goes off on the bank owner's son and like
Yeah.
just like that, like there's so many great scenes with it. And I think for me it's one of those things like when you're a kid and you have like a childhood memory. Like I remember watching that movie when it first came out and then just laughing my ass off and then just watching it again and again and again and again like that. And then I will say this to your credit, that and Ace Ventura 2 are the ones I think I watched on repeat.
My number three, apparently you didn't like enough. My number three is Liar Liar. Liar Liar.
It
Again,
is
it's
good.
another really dope ass concept, and there's
Yes.
so many good scenes in that. I feel like it's overlooked whenever anyone talks about Jim Carrey movies. The fucking pen is blue. The pen is blue. Like that whole scene,
Yeah.
or when he fucks his boss, and then she goes like, "How was that?" And he's like, "I've had
Oh, I've
better."
had better.
That I didn't even understand that as much as a kid, and then it wasn't until later I was like, "Oh shit, he fucking burned her."
Oh yeah.
But it had some really fucking killer jokes,
Oh,
and
like the
oh
scene
man,
in the
and the
bathroom.
sentimental value of him and the bathroom scene where he just kicks his
I'm
own ass.
kicking my ass, like, or like, oh, that's so
Oh, and the
great.
way he gets out of that too, like the way he gets like the jury postponed or whatever. He's just like, there was a madman in the bathroom, and he's like, he's not lying.
Yeah.
Oh, but it's so
Oh,
good.
or like when he's just like 135 pounds. Yeah, right. In her bra. Like that's a great
Oh
line.
man.
I mean,
Or like just the hallway scenes where he's literally just making fun of each person that he like sees. I wish I could
mhm.
remember every insult, but they're all good. But then like he's like making this person, this person, this person. Then that boss turns the corner. He's like, oh holy hell, like just
Yeah.
it's so good, and it's honestly it's a concept maybe we'll talk about again in the future. But like if you couldn't lie, like fuck, we all lie. Like that's no one out there is ever telling the truth 100%. And it's the fact that he's a lawyer too and he can't lie. It's amazing, and he still
Well,
wins the case. And it helps him realize exactly what he's missing out. And I think the other reason why too is it really hit me harder as an adult because at a certain point in my life I had a job that really took me away from my family for so long. So it's like I get that feeling where it's just like
oh
you
yeah.
don't see your kids. So
Yeah, when you're a
but
workaholic or you don't get to see them as
yeah,
much as you want to, and like then you feel obligated. It's kind of like a how do I want to say this? It's kind of like trying to juggle the priorities of everything, right? And
yeah,
like that's what that movie talks about. Like I'll say this, even though it's not in my top five. I mean, there's still things that I take away from it. Like I still play the claw game with my
yeah,
kids, and that's directly from Liar Liar. Like I'll be like, oh, here
yeah,
comes the claw, like, and then like at the ending, how he is with his son, and like it's a feel good movie. And I think that was another thing that was kind of that's what I feel like I noticed in especially after Truman Show, like he did a lot. His movies were less about just being slapstick funny, and they
yeah,
had feel good. And I think that's for me the only thing I feel like even like Bruce Almighty, even Me, Myself, and Irene had more of that feel good ending. Like they all kind
Mm-hmm.
of like, I don't want to say they blend together, but like they all kind of followed that same pattern where they end up being more, it wasn't like in Mask, it's like he's like, I won the day, and same with like Ace
Yeah.
Ventura. Whereas like these movies at the end, they had this emotional. That was like the second, like his first tier was more of just like the funny slapstick,
Yeah.
crude type movies, and then like that second half of his career in the early 2000s was more of that emotional dynamic to it.
We're about to pretty much end this with our number two. I can't really think of what your number two is gonna be.
My number two is
It's gonna
Ace
be
Ventura
messy.
1.
Oh, mine's number two. That's
Yeah,
perfect.
which is fine. It's still
Oh
Ace
God,
Ventura's.
we need all 10 of our fans to please comment and be like,
Uh,
"Who's right?"
who's right?
It's
I mean, the argument could be made for both. In the fact that and we already talked about why. Like I already mentioned why Ace Ventura is my favorite because I think it still holds
yeah.
up. And as the older I've gotten, I appreciate that one more. It's got Dan Marino in it. It's got Courtney Cox in it, who
At
was
least
smoking at
my
that point.
pick, at least my pick doesn't have to really worry as much about being canceled as yours. You can't really make those type of dick jokes really anymore.
That
he
movie
he
would
just
not
crawls
be
out of a
made today.
rhino's ass in my movie.
That
Like you
movie would
can't.
not be made today. Would not be
Oh man,
made today. But Ace Ventura
we
2 could have.
yeah.
And
Oh
there's the
hey, we're gonna get an
monkey.
Ace Ventura 3. I think just the setting too in general, him in the jungle. I like that so much, and like I didn't
Yeah.
really even because I guess as a kid I didn't really give a shit that he was a pet detective sort of thing, which makes a lot more sense in the first one, where it's really establishing his character and stuff like that. But in the second one, I'm just like, all right, it's just Jim Carrey in a jungle, and he's doing some crazy fucking shit, and it's hilarious. Or
Mm-hmm.
he like randomly has like a fucking monster truck too, or something, like a
Yeah.
glove.
Like a glove. That's a great one liner right there.
Yeah,
Like a glove. The whole snot scene.
yeah.
Or
Oh
excuse me,
shit.
your balls are showing. Bumblebee tuna. I mean, how many times has that one liner
Bumblebee
been
too.
made? Bumblebee tuna.
Guano. Oh man.
Can you feel that? Can you Captain Compost? Like, yeah, he's. I
Man,
think
we're
that's
making a lot of good jokes from the second movie. Do you want to rescind your choice?
no. There is.
I'm winning this.
It's no. I'm still
I
going Ace
feel
Ventura
good.
1. I'm still going with 1 because you can. Okay, you can. Okay, fine. Can you have the second movie without the first? No.
I did. That was the thing. I didn't know the first one existed. I did. I had the first movie without, or I had the second movie
See,
without the first one.
it's like what's better, Godfather 1 or Godfather 2? Everyone's gonna say
Well,
Godfather
I don't
2, but
know. Maybe I fucked up on that one too.
you wouldn't have Godfather 2 if you didn't have Godfather 1. So it's like
That's
what
such a
started it all?
bullshitty
I'm just
that
saying.
thing.
I'm just
Don't give me
saying.
the chicken and the egg shit.
I'm just saying. There's that argument, and then for me, yeah, like
But yeah,
okay, to me,
yeah,
I think
yeah,
I
you
would
can't
rather
have
watch.
it, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the second one can't be better. Because maybe they were like, all right, this is what worked in the first, and this is what didn't. And then
True, and
what
I don't
if
know. I
what
kind
if
of
the
like the
gags just
whole.
him in a jungle are better? See, you're coming
I
around.
can't no because I kind of like the whole Miami versus the jungle. Um, it's still. I mean, no, it's still gonna be 1 for me. Look, I have nothing against number 2. So either way, I think you got. I think the fact that we have both either have one of the Ace Venturas as our number 2 it kind of says a lot to how the Ace Ventura movies were. They were
Yeah.
fantastic, and I think
All right, and now
I think. Okay, here's the thing. If anyone, I would love to see what the comments are on that. What's better, Ace Ventura 1 or Ace Ventura 2? And I will gladly concede if number 2 outranks number 1.
you know what? And if they say number one is better, I will gladly edit this whole thing so it never happens. All right, but obviously we'll go to our number one pick. Say it
Dumb and
with
Dumber.
me. Sonic the Hedgehog.
No.
What?
Horton Hears a Who.
No.
The Grinch.
You know what? The Grinch isn't terrible.
What about Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind?
I need to rewatch that because I think I watched that when I was too young to really get it.
Yeah.
Like I get the concept. I know what it's about. I feel like it's one of those where it's like I should probably rewatch it.
Well, I'm trying to think. What was the one that I'm just looking through? I haven't watched any of the Lemony Snickets or whatever, the series of unfortunate events.
Neither have I. I'm
Um,
surprised Yes Man wasn't in your top five.
Yes Man was
such a fucking yes man.
Yeah. Oh, ouch. The Majestic, which is like a very serious movie. It's not bad, but like it just doesn't like register with me. I haven't seen Mr. Popper's Penguins.
It's not that good. All right, so Ace Ventura Pet Detective has a 49% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Was it called Ace Ventura 2? No, see, it was just called Ace Ventura When Nature Calls. And that one has... All right, we won't look at the reviews on Rotten Tomatoes. You know what? Don't worry about it. How does it have... it has 25%.
I need
That's fucking bullshit.
To be a man and just admit it. Just admit it that it gets better reviews. You can at least admit that.
Well, I literally just did. Here's you need me to say... Do you need me to repeat myself?
I don't. Your facial expression was enough. Here's the thing. It was your top 5, your favorite movies, whether they're the best ones or not. Mine, the nice part for me is at least my top 5 movies is actually what are the best movies. So, that's nice. You could have a separate list. That's fine. You don't have to be like everyone else, Jake. You don't have to, Maybe it's,
I don't
like
cocky Paul.
You're just a unique snowflake in the Jim Carrey world, and that's fine. That's what you are.
You know what? My Jim Carrey list is Sonic the Hedgehog,
Fuck that.
Kick-Ass 2, Yes Man, Mr. Popper's Penguins, and I Love You, Philip Morris. And my bubble is number 23.
See, and then so then we can talk about that because and then he was in Kick-Ass too, which I didn't see, but
he had a small role. If you ever watch, maybe I won't give it away. All right. So
leading that in, because obviously him playing Dr. Robotnik was not on our list. And I guess with that, since he was in the movie that we were going to be talking about tonight, we can lead that into Sonic the Hedgehog after a word from our sponsors. Do we have any sponsors? You didn't line up any sponsors? I just said, and now for a word from our sponsors, and we don't have a fucking sponsor lined up? What the fuck? God damn it, Jake. I thought you were going to have the fucking sponsors lined up. So apparently we don't have any sponsors this week, which is totally fine. Thank you, Jake, for trying. All right, I got to piss like a racehorse. All right, let me try and act like I want to be here.
Thank you. Act professionally too.
Boobies, boobers, boob tubes, heroes. What the fuck? What were these boobies? The boobies?
Boobies. It's been boobies. It's always been boobies. What's up, tits?
What's up, tits? What's up? Oh shit! All right, what's up, boobies? Welcome back. Another episode of Boob Tube Heroes. I'm here with Jakey B, and tonight we are on episode 3. Going to be talking about Sonic, which I'm sure is probably going to lead into a lot of Jim Carrey conversation, maybe some Sega conversation, or just maybe how Sonic wasn't that great of a movie. So
okay, hold on. Okay, I tried so hard not to do any stupid shit for your intro. It's not that bad. It was a decent movie. It was decent. Fuck yourself.
Well,
hard.
I hope you guys enjoy the show. There you go. That's it.
So wait. Whatever. We're starting this. You didn't.
All right. So
you didn't like it? No. You go first. I want to hear why. Why didn't you like it?
Okay. So now we've been talking about Jim Carrey all night. right? And I think one of the ones that I noticed that wasn't on either one of our list was him playing Dr. Robotnik in Sonic. Even though I think Jim was great in the movie,
Don't call him
this
Jim.
does lead us into with
Fucking call him
James, maybe
Jim.
James Carrey.
You call him Mr. Carrey.
Mr.
All right?
Carrey,
You ain't
fine.
cool.
But yeah, I mean, while I didn't think he was, I liked him in the movie for being Dr. Robotnik. At this point, I think what we can do is we could just talk about Sonic first in general, and we can kind of lead back into Jim Carrey's role in it. So I guess at this point, I think you and me are probably gonna have differing opinions based on the intro and how, but I guess what did you think about the Sonic movie in general?
All right, so first off, let's talk about Jim Carrey. No, I'm kidding. I I liked it. Excuse me. For the most part, it wasn't anything great and it wasn't anything terrible. It was good. I watched it with my daughter. She liked it, and she has no idea who the fuck Sonic is. So
yeah, I was gonna say my son loves it. He's watched it like 4 times since. For kids, it's great.
Not bad. It has heart in it. Like the whole the whole him trying to find a family.
Feels forced.
It's very
feels forced.
You're such a.
Tell me I'm wrong. Feels forced.
You're not, but like. You know what? Fuck you. Maybe I just want to like it because I like Sonic, right? I grew up playing the fucking games. There's nothing wrong with liking
Sonic.
I wanted it to be good. It's. There's gonna be a sequel. It's not. It surprised me. Okay, how about that? It was. I thought it was gonna be shit. Obviously, the fucking character design in the beginning, whether or not you believe that was fucking fake or whatever, yeah, that was shitty. And we all thought this movie was still gonna be shitty. It wasn't as shitty, okay? It was somewhat shitty. It was like, it's shitty, but with like a golden nut in it. Like it wasn't that bad.
Golden nut or a golden nugget? Because it sounds like you're saying you're busting a golden nut in it.
That would hurt. I think it was fine. Okay, I don't know why you're ragging on it.
All right, hold on.
Don't tell me you were like a little upset when he's running the bases. Okay, you can't tell me you're like a little bit of like, oh, that's sad. It's a little sad. And Ben Schwartz did a good job as the voice.
Okay, he voices it well, but some of the lines in it are just so bad.
Better than you thought, right?
No. I mean, it's just, I don't know, like shooting lightning out of my butt. Like, okay.
It's not.
If I take it from the context that it's a kid's movie, it's not bad.
There you go. See, we agree. It's not bad.
But I still cannot. I don't like the premise. I don't like the storyline. To me makes no sense whatsoever. And
does it not make sense? Does it not make sense?
Because okay,
he had to escape.
Magic
the rings let him do that. Well, it goes back to the games. He needs the rings to live and all that shit.
I know.
He goes to the Green Hills.
I know, but like
he finds Cyclops, and then he's living there.
His name James Marsden. Not the best actor. Not the best actor. I don't know. I guess. Look, I loved playing Sonic when I was a kid. Sega. That's like what carried Sega. You know what I mean? Like, it was so good.
Yeah.
The game 1 and 2 is great. Sonic and Knuckles is great. But like, I don't know. Like when they did the even the beginning of when he was like talking about like where he came from was so quick. And there was like it's just like, and then it was also, and then he's just over in this world, and then it's like another dimension. It was and then like I don't know. Everything was just so cheesy. Nothing carried the way I would want it to carry through. Even like James Marsden helping him seemed kind of forced. Everything seems forced in it.
He wanted to help the little guy or something. He says, "I just want someone to be like,
Would
help me for my life." Okay,
so
it's.
you're gonna pick a blue hedgehog that's an alien? You're not
I
gonna be like,
would.
no, best of luck for you, bud. I'm getting the fuck out of here. You're gonna help him?
No, you wouldn't. Those big, beautiful eyes. You would just turn that away. You're a
No,
fucking monster.
yeah, fucking. I don't know. I just, and then like the whole.
So wait, no, you're telling me this cute little creature comes up to you and is like, "Hey, this scientist wants to fucking murder my ass. Can you please help me?" You're like,
Hold on.
"Never saw
The
this."
the government is gonna come down on me, and then I am gonna end up being a fugitive for this little blue hedgehog that gives me
Yeah,
this. I don't care how big your puppy dog eyes are, or whatever the fuck. I'd be like, sorry, man. Here's where you're going. And like Dr. Robotnik shows up, he'd be like, hey, do you have the guy? I'd be like, yep, right here. Here you
you're
go.
such a
You're
cuck.
done. I mean, but
So
honestly,
terrible.
who you tell me
And movie.
you mean to tell me with your kids and your daughters and all that you're gonna put all that on the line for something like that? For
I
a blue
mean,
creature, you're gonna be like, here you go. This movie could have been done in 15 minutes. Oh yeah, yeah, he's right here. Done.
okay,
He
so
gets
first
experimented
off,
on, and like that
I'm
seems
not
like the more
heartless.
logical path. Just
No, I'm
saying,
not okay.
like
So fine. No, to
this.
answer your question, no, I wouldn't help the fucking thing. I would be like, listen, I think that guy over there, he might be better for you. And then I quickly lock all the doors, and then peer out my window, make sure he leaves me the fuck alone. But no, okay, but still, like, it's not. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. Ben Schwartz, I think. Okay,
I
his portrayal as Sonic was really good. It really he really gave it like this childlike sense of wonderment. Okay.
yes. I just, I guess for me, I would have liked to see more of Sonic's world. I would have been fine if they would have made a Sonic movie that didn't have to reference our world at all.
But at
Yeah,
least we can be happy that they didn't go with that original design because that would just been an
yeah,
atrocity, an abomination.
yeah. It's just, I don't know. Like, I think for me, it's like all the other stuff around the movie was just very, like, the government's just going to bring in Dr. Robotnik. And then even though everyone else is like, oh, God, not this guy. He's insane. And, oh, my God, I wouldn't bring him in. And he's like, oh, you're
Okay,
right.
yeah,
He's the
they
guy
use
for the
kid
job.
logic to just be
Oh,
like
okay.
to
There's an
explain it
EMP
away. I get
response.
it.
Like, yeah, they did a lot of that where a lot of it was forced through, which to
Yeah,
me kind of just fell flat. Some of the scenes were kind of cool, like the bar scene where everything slows down.
yeah,
But even that, you can say, "Wow, I'm pretty sure X Men just did that." Not much different. Kind of a takeaway.
yeah.
Kind of
Okay,
mimicking that.
okay.
Now, granted, he
That's fine. The ending is not terrible. Him racing through the city and then through the rings and then fighting for his friends. It's good.
fighting through San
It's not
Francisco.
our
Yeah,
demographic. It's not our. It should be more geared towards us because you would think you'd want to gear a little bit towards the people that grew up playing the Sega games. It's not. It's more geared towards younger kids. I'm
which
just
is fine. It's
it,
look here. You
see,
want
I
to gear it
didn't
towards
do
kids.
bad.
Your daughter liked it. My son liked it. Mission accomplished. But if you're gonna ask me if it's a good movie, like if Dean came up to me, well, let me rephrase that because if Dean came up to me and said, "Can I watch this?" I'd be like, "Sure." If my son was like, "Hey, can we watch this today?"
Okay, okay,
You know
okay.
what, buddy?
That's
Absolutely.
what.
But
Okay,
if he was watching it and he didn't ask me, and then I see it's on, I'm not like, "Oh, Sonic's on," and I'm gonna go sit down and watch it with him. I'm gonna probably find something else to fucking do. Is my point.
what if they do a Smash Brothers movie? Okay, does this retcon it in any sense for you? Although I don't know how that would work. Is like
Oh,
would
that'd be
Mario
tough.
be
That would be
live
tough.
action again?
I mean, no, he'd have to be CGI. He'd have to be from a different dimension, right? So, like, uh, the fact that they brought it in there doesn't make any sense. The rest of the storyline is really flawed. Jim Carrey is great in it. Not great, but he's good. He's very Jim Carrey like
He's
in it.
misplaced, but his performance is pretty good. He's very '90s Jim Carrey,
Mm-hmm.
easily.
Um, But even then, there's some scenes where, like, yeah, it's funny, but like, it didn't land. Like when he was making fun of the general, and he's like, where machines don't have to take a day off and have a
Yeah.
couple beers to put the boat in the water. Like it was funny, but not like outright funny. Where I was like dying laughing. I didn't get a
Are
lot of
you
those
excited
funny.
at all for Tails?
Yeah,
Did you watch the credits? Okay. Are you at all excited for Tails?
I was a big fan of Tails. Great character in the game. So like,
You
I
know,
thought
it'd
that
be
was kind of
dope
cool.
though if in the second movie when it's like maybe it's him and Tails together. You played the Sega game, right?
Yeah.
Where if you were the second player, you got to be Tails, and it's really this bullshit experience that you get because Tails can die in a sense, but he just comes back.
Mm-hmm.
And as the younger brother, I was always Tails, so like I got to go on that journey, but there was never any stakes, which is good for like a really young kid. But at the same
Sure.
time, it's also bullshit. How hilarious would that be if they kept that in the second movie? Tails is just getting his ass like whooped, and he just
Yeah.
like flies back. He's like, "What's up? I'm back."
Yeah, yeah. It's a glitch in the system where he just keeps coming back.
He just
Like I would rather though they bring it back to their original world or something. I'd rather do
yeah.
that, or maybe where he has to say goodbye. Like even the goodbye at the end, I didn't feel any emotions for. And then there's just some weird stuff that happens. Like I said, like them bringing Dr. Robotnik in seemed way too forced. The fact that the sister-in-law hated, I can't remember his name in it. Tom,
James Marsden, Cyclops. It's
Tim,
probably Tom. It's
Tom,
it's one of
Tim.
it's probably Tim. Tim, one of them dumbass names. Tim.
Yeah, very white bread. But um, like I just felt like she hated him for like no other like no reason. Like she was
Because she
like as soon as
has
the
the
first
script.
conversation like Divorce, and I'm like, okay, let me get this straight. Let's backtrack to the beginning. This guy supposedly took a job, paid for his wife to go through medical school to become a veterinarian, takes two jobs in order to do so, takes care of her, and is a cop in a small town with a stand-up job. What is the reason she doesn't like him?
I don't like this review, Paul, for one reason.
I'm
Because I
just
feel
saying,
like
what does she
my
not? Why does she not
opinion's
like him?
changing.
So there's no good reason for her not to like him. So I'm like, okay, what's the missing link here? Did he like not pick her and he picked the other? He picked his wife instead, and then she just doesn't like him. Like it does that. Like there's no that there's such a disconnect there with that. But the part that was weird to me is the part where they have him in the duffel bag when they're like waiting at the elevator, and then the other people like look at them all weird, and they're kind of alluding to that's like their kid in the duffel
Yeah.
bag, and like they're trying to like make these jokes like, oh no, he likes being in there, and he's like, no, I don't, and then like those people be like, there's something fucking wrong with these two folks, like you're not, that's not like a ha ha moment, that's like what the fuck is wrong with these
Yeah.
people, like captors or just totally like not taking care of your child, that I'm
They're
like,
gonna eat
you
him
can't
off
just
the roof.
you don't just glaze that. Oh yeah, what are they gonna do? Just toss the duffel bag. Like it just, that was just so weird to me. And like there's so many things that just didn't really make any sense in the movie that bothered me about it. And then like
All right, fine. No, it's fine. Shut up. Fuck
the movie
you.
sucks, doesn't it?
Okay, you
It
won.
sucks.
Yeah. Okay, my daughter liked it. It's you know what?
Well, and then that's the thing. Like when I was watching with my
I
son,
give it
and then
5
he
out of
was
10 fuck yous.
like when he says things like you shot electricity out of your butt, and now they're gonna try and find you. Like my son laughed at that. My son laughed when what does Jim Carrey say to the one guy about being useless? Like thought that was funny. Or what does he call him? Captain Brainfart?
Something like I
Or
don't know. Okay, listen.
Officer
We
Brainfart?
ordered a
Like,
pizza. It was
yeah.
we rented it. It's a pandemic. Okay, just fuck off. All right, I don't want to do this
Yeah,
shit no more.
I watched that movie with
You
all
won.
the hope
Shut
in the
up.
world
It's
that it was going to
fine.
be
It's
good,
fine.
and then I sat there
I
scrolling through while my son was laughing.
Do you know how many batteries I had to use on my Game Gear to play Sonic? Okay, that thing took 6. It was either 6 AAA
Dude,
or
do you
6
remember how
AA.
big
I
that
don't
thing
remember.
was? I
It
mean,
was
Jesus.
fucking ginormous.
Like
It
you
was
were like this all the
clunky little
time.
fuck.